There's one player who's been kind of cold. His form has been refrigerated, right? Ever since he's come into the IPL, he had hot form last year leading up to this. So we thought that he's in need for some jaldi cooling. So this is our coolest advice powered by Crompton Air Coolers, jaldi cooling. We are talking about Yashasvi Jaiswal. And if we have to talk about free scoring, hard-hitting, left-handed opening batters. Doull, you have any idea who we could...
Well, I mean, I opened the batting in my last season.
Yeah,
but I
left-handed.
I didn't bat left-handed.
You did?
Is that why it was your last season?
That's exactly why it was my last season. But no, I probably should let the man on my right start.
There you go. We found him.
So we're looking for advice for him, are we?
Yes.
Is that what we're doing with the
63
Crompton Air Coolers?
Yes, exactly.
Look, I would be saying, first of all, do not panic. I mean, those numbers on the left of screen there last season, that's a phenomenal year. Look at that, average strike rate. If you combine those and you're up over 200, they're the numbers that obviously then launch you onto the platform that he's so welcomed and achieved so much after that period last year in the national colours. So don't panic. You are a star. If I'm Kumar Sangakkara, I'm sitting down with that. You are a star. You've proven that. You haven't lost any of that. Maybe with that expectation or those results comes expectation. That's why I said he was going to be the top run scorer in this edition. I thought he'll back it up given the frame of mind he was in at international cricket and everything he'd achieved. So maybe, the first game, look at his results, 24 off 12. It looked like, here we go again. The daylight out there at Rajasthan at Jaipur, he's smacking them around. Then he just gets one a bit thin, gets caught. Next couple of games, he knocks one to cover. Not sure that the second innings, but then all of a sudden it's a couple of failures. Oh, hang on a minute. There's expectation on me. There's extra eyeballs on me now. Just start to try a bit too hard. And all top order players have been there. And if you are, whether you're a left hand or right hand, but if your job at the top is to go hard and get that team off to a flyer, you start to just go, oh, hang on, I've got to get creative here. So you start charging down the wicket second ball against RCB. And then even the other night where he got a few away through the covers and you think, here we go. He gets down and tries to ramp one and Wade takes a good catch, albeit, but just buy yourself a bit more time. That's what I'm saying. Don't panic. I know that's not the go in this day and age of T20 cricket. It might only be 6 extra deliveries before you really start to do that. But there is always more time in cricket than what you think.
And you don't become a bad player overnight.
No.
He's still a class act. I think he hits the ball on the top of the bounce as well as any young player I've seen hit on the top of the bounce. And he doesn't have to hit the ball in the air for 6, 8, 10 balls. That would be, you don't need to go searching. And I love it when batters react rather than preempt. And he is the sort of batter that's got all the shots in the book, but if he's starting to preempt, I get worried because he doesn't have to. He's too good a player to go searching for something that's not there.
Totally agree.
Just
that
wait.
Premeditated stuff is not him.
No.
Stand tall, use the pace.
Yeah.
And I know it's all condensed now, but an example of what I was saying about buy yourself time. Mark Waugh and I opened the batting in 50 over cricket for, 170 times. He used to come down and say, do not look at the scoreboard for the first 5 overs. Because I'd been in this situation. I'm like, I've got to go and shank one. And don't look at the scoreboard in the first 5 overs. That's in 50 overs. So maybe there's a batting partner, Josh Butler, can come down and say, 2 overs or 3 overs. Give yourself a dozen balls before you even think of... It's just a condensed version of that, but it's a similar philosophy.
You have intent with 1s and 2s as well.
Yeah.
Like people talk about batting intent. To me, batting intent is also 1s, running 1s and 2s hard, finding gaps, little things like that. So that'd be all. But as I say, he's still a class player and he's played a lot of cricket. He's played a lot of cricket, so maybe the mind just needs to refresh a little bit as well.
We're hearing whispers that he may have a new opening partner today. More on that in just a second. We've got some advice coming from Leave It Dangling.
Teased tonight, aren't you?
Yeah? Do a little David Fincher move on everyone. All right, so there's a few pieces of advice coming from social media as well. Here are our winners for today. This is what is coming from, there you go, Oni. All right, hang on, I'll get this. Oni mera naam. Okay, stick with Jaiswal even if he fails. Too good a talent. Keep backing him before the T20 World Cup. I think that advice is more for Rajasthan. So that's
that's a really good point, because maybe that's in his mind too. knowing that there's a World Cup coming up.
More than
Gill scoring. Yeah, there's a number, so many options at the top of the order for India. Maybe that's crept in a little bit too. So again, experience around him needs to say, push that away, mate. You be you. That'll sort itself out.
Yeah, maybe just we've all given him a boarding pass, so maybe maybe he wants to hear it from other people. All right, we've got another winner from social media. What does this piece of advice say? Let's have a look. It's from Anjana, who says, Robman Powell was Rajasthan's costliest buy for 7.4. Select him in the playing 11 and then see the change. Perfect all-rounder. All right, so this is, again, more advice for Rajasthan, the team. But yeah, it's pretty cool advice because Robman Powell's been padded for a few games waiting to go out. But his problem is that the other batters are doing so well that he doesn't get a chance. Do we have another one, or that's just the two? We've got the two winners. Well, you can send in your advice as well, and you can get a chance to win some goodies from Crompton Air Coolers. So you can share your advice, #coolest advice on X and on Instagram. So that was our coolest advice powered by Crompton Air Coolers, Jaldi Cooling.